I'm just tired of all you left-wing commies trying to say there were bombs in the World Trade Center. So I put together some video to prove you wrong.
Yeah, here's one of the guys who can tell you I'm okay, alright? Here, hold on. You want to call your mother or something?
Supposed to be right now.
You gotta get back from here.
Wow,
You know that. You
all
gotta
right.
get back.
All right.
I know.
Don't worry about me. You need to make calls right now. All right, that's
Come with us. Let's talk a little later, okay? Okay.
Yeah, man. So I'm right underneath the damn thing, all right? Yeah, here's one of the guys who can tell you I'm okay, all right? Come on, come on!
Bomb in the building, start clearing out. Sorry, you said there's a bomb? What'd you say? Bomb in the building, start clearing out. Got it.
Yeah, where the fuck? What did we do? We made it outside. We made it about a block.
We made it at least two blocks, and we started running. Floor by floor, it started popping out.
It was like, it was if they had detonated.
Yeah,
As if they
detonated,
were planning
yeah.
to take down a building. Boom, 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 boom.
All the way down. I was watching it and running.
Just ran up West
And then you just saw this cloud of shit chasing you down.
Couldn't
Just
outrun
ran up
it.
West Street.
I could outrun it.
So what'd you do?
I jumped behind a battalion car, I hit under the car, I was waiting to die.
It looks like one of those scenes of an old building being, purposely dynamited and blown up.
We've heard reports of secondary explosions after the aircraft impacted, whether in fact there wasn't something else at the base of the towers that in fact were the coup de grace.
Boom! An explosion so hard that pushed us upwards. Upwards. Now, 20 years in the building. Remember that. And it came from the basement between the B2 level and the B3 level. At that moment, everybody started screaming. And the explosion was so hard that all the walls cracked, the false ceiling fell on top of us. The sprinkler system got activated. And when I went to verbalize that it was a generator, we hear boom, all the way on the top. The impact of the plane on the top. 2 different events, 2 different times. Later on, I thought that they probably didn't synchronize it well.
It just went ba-boom. It was like a bomb went off. And it was like holy hell coming down them stairs. And then when we finally got to the bottom, they were coming out on the mezzanine level there. And another explosion came right from it, just everyone flying.
Like, it sounded like gunfire, bang, 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 and then all of a sudden, 3 big explosions.
As we were getting our gear on and making our way to the stairway, there was a heavy-duty explosion.
To me, it sounded like an explosion. Then the building, the rolling sound sounded like the building collapsed.
The building, but as soon as I got outside, I heard a second explosion. And another rumble, and more smoke, and more dust. I ran inside the buildings, the chandelier shook, and again, black smoke filled the air. Within another 5 minutes, we were covered again with more silt and more dust. And then a fire marshal came in and said we had to leave because if there was a third explosion, this building might not last.
Then there was secondary explosions and then the subsequent collapses. So I don't know how many people were in there. I know there was a lot of firefighters.
New York's bravest never had a chance.
We really never even got to that close to the building. An explosion blew and it knocked everybody over.
The FBI is here, as you can see. They had roped this area off. They were taking photographs and securing this area just prior to that huge explosion that we all heard and felt.
Most of the victims so far were people outside the blown-up building.
Saw that as well. The second tower, the only one that was standing, tower number 1, we saw some kind of explosion, a lot of smoke come out at the top of the tower, and then...
Next thing we know, it was boom, boom, and the floor started shaking.
And then we saw debris fall down, and next thing we know, we had to get out of the building. We stuck on the stairs for a while. We finally got down to the lobby. Then we get to the lobby, there's this big explosion.
Well, me and Mr. Hesh, the Corporation Counsel, were on the 23rd floor. I told him we got to get out of here. We started walking down the stairs. We made it to the 8th floor. Big explosion. Flew us back into the 8th floor.
I was making my way to the foot of the World Trade Center. Suddenly, while talking to an officer who was questioning me about my press credentials, we heard a very loud blast, an explosion. We looked up, and the building literally began to collapse.
Rose Housey, one of our CNN producers, is on the phone. Rose, what do you got?
I'm about a block away, and there were several people that were hanging out the windows right below where the plane crashed, when suddenly you saw the top of the building start to shake, and people began leaping from the windows in the north side of the building. You saw 2 people at first plummet, and then a third one, and then the entire top of the building just blew up, and splinters of debris are falling on the street.
Faced out onto the street.
The streets of the financial district covered with debris, in some cases ankle deep. Cars on fire, cars just turned by the force of the explosions. It was like something no one had ever seen.
This huge, incredible force of wind and debris actually came up the stairs, knocked my helmet off, knocked me to the ground.
Rick Sanchez has been there throughout this morning for us. Rick, tell us where you are and what the latest is.
I spoke with some police officials moments ago, Chris, and they told me that they have reason to believe that one of the explosions at the World Trade Center may have been caused by a van that was parked in the building that may have had some type of explosive device in it.
NBC's Pat Dawson is close to the scene of that attack. Pat?
Just moments ago, I spoke to the chief of safety for the New York City Fire Department. He received word of the possibility of a secondary device, that is another bomb going off. There was another explosion which took place. According to his theory, he thinks that there were actually devices that were planted in the building.
Of all the ideas that became the United States, there's a line here that's at the heart of all the others. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and provide new guards for their future security. People don't talk that way anymore.
Beautiful. No idea what you said.
It means if there's something wrong, those who have the ability to take action have the responsibility to take action.
I did pass through a couple of parks and on some of the streets, and before, when I reported about an hour ago, there were people at their gas pumps who turned to look at the smoke that was coming from the city. Folks stepping out of bodegas and stores to look. Now people are gathering in large groups. In fact, in one corner, I saw a group of people actually holding hands and praying. As I stand on the Manhattan Bridge, which is closed, it is open to pedestrian traffic. Some people are in crowds, but there's just no way for them to. As I look out, something is that I can't. I did pass through a couple of parks and on some of the streets, and before, when I reported about an hour ago, there were people at their gas pumps who turned to look at the smoke that was coming from the city. Folks stepping out of bodegas and stores to look. Now people are gathering in large groups. In fact, in one corner, I saw a group of people actually holding hands and praying. As I stand on the Manhattan Bridge, which is closed, it is open to pedestrian traffic. Some people are in crowds, but there's just no way for them to. As I look out, something is that I can't.
It is my solemn belief that 9/11 was an inside job, and it is also my solemn wish that George W. Bush and his PNAC puppeteers get very large black boyfriends in prison. I mean, very large black boyfriends. I mean, love for George, love behind him, just love for George, love for George.
I don't know, really, anymore.
I'll probably cut the end part off.
Probably, yeah. With the humping, probably you should cut the humping off.
The dry hump in the side.
Yeah.